reading from this today. There's the author. That's two authors. A couple guys that are talking to each other in this book. One's asking questions, the other one's answering them. One of the questions with this is talking about attractive personality, which I'm not saying I do have one. I know I don't. Not worried about it. But they got to the topic of a keen sense of justice, which is supposed to be a trait of an attractive personality. Okay, making sure I had that on. Said, should be common sense, but clearly is not, that individuals cannot become popular or attractive unless they deal justly with others. Question, what do you mean by justice? Justice is, as I use the term here, means intentional honesty. Some people are honest only when it benefits them, but as soon as their interests are at stake, they stretch or abandon the truth. The person with a pleasing personality adheres to a rigid policy of honesty regardless of whether it benefits them or not. There are numerous benefits to a keen sense of justice, including, by the way, how many people do you know that are like that? The world's full of them. Anyway, the benefits, 8 are listed. 1, it increases your self-reliance and self-respect. 2, it promotes a clear conscience. 3, it attracts friends and prevents enemies. 4, it clears the way for the state of mind known as faith. 5, it protects you from protects you from becoming enmeshed in controversies. 6, it boosts initiative in connection with your major purpose in life. 7, it decreases the likelihood of personal damages or embarrassment. And number 8, it discourages greed and selfishness instead of boosting your understanding of your rights, privileges, and responsibility. A keen sense of justice directly contributes to the development of the other traits of an attractive personality. Next question, this is Hill, the writer of the book, asking Mr. Carnegie. That brings us to, I don't know if that's not the one I want to read next. Okay. Well, yeah. Number 15 in the list of traits of a personality, which are appropriateness of words. There is no excuse for using offensive or careless language in today's day and age. And it's a good idea to avoid slang. There are plenty of words available to express your exact meaning without resorting to this. So how can a person develop an adequate and appropriate vocabulary? An acquaintance of mine who has the best vocabulary I know and who always uses the appropriate word in every circumstance devotes 30 minutes a day to reading the dictionary. Yes, literally reading it. As I mentioned earlier, speech is the means by which thought finds expression and the primary means by which humans are judged. As such, care in the choice of words, as in the tone of voice in which words are expressed, are of paramount importance. Let's see, there's talking about now we're going to go on to the next trait. The term emotional control. A lot of us don't have it, and it gets us in trouble. The vast majority of people are driven primarily by their emotions rather than their reason. Our ability to control our emotions not only adds to the attractiveness of our personality, but it also to a great extent, determines our success. So are you suggesting as the first step toward gaining such control over, so what do you suggest as the first step to gaining this control over our emotions? First step is to identify major emotions so that we can recognize them. A noted psychologist has prepared a list of the most common emotions, both positive and negative, expressed in daily life. Now, I will add this. I'm going to list the first 7 primary, negative, and the 7 primary positive. You can put them how you want to rank them, how you feel they should be ranked. I'm just reading this to let you know the thought here. First 7 negative emotions are fear, jealousy, hatred and envy, revenge and malice, greed, superstition and distrust, and anger. Now, the 7 positive, primary positive emotions: love, sex, hope, faith, desire, optimism, loyalty. These 14 words represent the keyboard of the piano of life, on which an individual plays the chords of harmony that lead to happiness in its fullest meaning, or the discords of unhappiness that lead to misery and obscurity. These 14 emotions equate to a mental attitude. They are nothing but feelings or state of minds. More importantly, they can be organized, directed, and completely controlled by any normal person. Key word, I said normal. A normal person. How many of you want to admit, how many of you can admit you really are normal? All jokes aside. God didn't make mistakes. We make mistakes with our choices. Anyway, what are the means by which individuals can control their emotions? The only thing people have to do is to take charge of their mind and exercise control over their thoughts. If you do not control your thoughts, you will condemn your life to the stray winds of chance. Remember, you begin to control your mind and therefore your emotions when you adopt a definite major purpose. Definiteness of purpose is the starting point of all achievement. It sounds like if people regularly check themselves against each of these emotions, they will make tremendous strides toward controlling their emotions. That's correct. Everyone should create a checklist and rate themselves on each of these emotions daily. This is a positive step to take towards self-mastery, a goal that must be pursued and attained by all who wish to make life pay. That doesn't mean getting revenge, okay? That means making life work for you instead of against you, as God intended to work for you. We make life work against us based on the choices we make due to our emotional state of minds, because we're not thinking clearly. But our emotions think for us. I've said this for a very long time. Nobody listens. Sorry about the reflection of my glasses of the TV. Anyway. Let's see if there's anything else I'd like to say to you about all this. Goes into further about talking about effectivenesses of speeches and things, and how to do an effective speech and stuff like that. Basically, the next part just says the next trait is alertness of interest, and basically showing whoever you're trying showing a person that they have your undivided attention. That it's not all about you. You don't make the whole conversation about me, 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 me. You let them talk about them, and then they feel important. You're giving them attention that they might not even be getting it. They're probably not even getting at home, because the spouse thinks they're more important, the kids think they're more important, or the pets think they're more important, or should I say, AKA fur babies. We have let society and the media change how we handle our emotions. And we have been willing to believe everything that they tell us. And they know what they're they know what they're doing. They're messing with our emotions. Perfect topic. Race. There isn't any racism. Was there ever any racism in history? Yeah. There's no racism. That's the media convincing you of that. Whites don't hate black people. The ones that bring up racism, no matter what their skin color is or their gender, those are the ones that actually are the racists. Think about that. If you're thinking about it, you have the problem. Think about that. George Floyd and all that other shit. There wasn't nothing racist about that. He was muling drugs up his butt. He died because they busted. He had a history of being a criminal. Not saying people can't change. But he wasn't trying to. He was just trying to give off the vibe, the aroma. He was a fake. And they politicized it. And a cop went to prison just because he already had a past of being mean. I don't know the cop. I just know the story that took his career. George Floyd was a fairly large man. He was over 6 foot tall. I'm 5'3". If I was the officer, yeah, I'd been pinning his ass down on the ground too, with my damn knee up against his damn neck, because he wants to resist. I don't care if he's black, white, Mexican, Arab, Ahab, Muslim. I'm short. And I'm gonna keep you down at all costs. Even with a pair of handcuffs on you doesn't mean you still can't be agitated. Or agitating doesn't mean that you still can't be resistant. Because you think because you're bigger than me. He had no respect. He had no respect for himself, or he wouldn't have been doing what he was doing to start with. He resisted getting out of the car during the traffic stop. He dropped drugs behind his back when they put him on the sidewalk in the initial corner by his car to start with. But I wasn't trying to do that for this. I wasn't trying to add that. It just kind of led to it. Anyway, there's some more in there I'm going to read. I'll do it for another video. Alright, that's your story time for the day. You're welcome, Kevin.